Hello everybody, Jake, your resident content cowboy here, yeehaw, and Comfey comes out a little later today, so I wanted to make a video giving you everything you need to know as fast as I could about this little Comfey. Held items are going to be interesting on this Pokemon because I think cooldowns might be massively important, so you could run something like Shell Bell, Energy Amplifier, or at least one of them. I think EXP share is a definite must on this Pokemon. You are just going to be with an ally so much, and if you're with a strong carry, you can give them lots of EXP while at the same time making sure that you continue to gain your levels as well. Other things that might be viable would be things like a Muscle Band, possibly a Rapid Fire Scarf, Choice Specs or Wise Specs, a Buddy Barrier, and yes, even a Leftovers. You'll see later in this video how Leftovers actually might have found its Pokemon. Crazy, I know. As far as boost emblems go, I assume you're going to want to use green-black for this. This is just the test server's green-black emblem setup right here. I have a better one on my channel, but it's going to be green-black. You're going to want cooldowns, and you're going to want your moves to be more powerful, for sure. First of all, you get to choose between Vine Whip and Synthesis right away. Vine Whip is going to be your early first move just because it does damage on Comfey. That's going to be the first thing you choose. Then Synthesis kind of unlocks everything that this Pokemon is about. Synthesis allows you to attach to an ally, give them a shield, and heal them based on the number of flowers that you have in reserve. You can see my flowers do tick up gradually as I'm holding on to this Pokemon, so I can heal it again if I would like. I can also use my second move as an attack from inside of that Pokemon, and then you get to upgrade between either Floral, Healing, and Sweet Kiss after that. Something also to notice about Synthesis is how fast you can heal and then bounce off a Pokemon, make it into the tall grass, get all of your flowers back, bounce right back on, and heal. The combo of that, I think, is going to be really massive, and it's going to be important for you to learn how to help your allies as much as you can here. Just wanted to try Potion to see if it would heal my ally at the same time. I thought there was no way it would, and you know what? I was right. There's no way it would. Just tapping Synthesis right here to get to my ally as quickly as I can. Heal them, bounce off in the direction that I choose, right into the tall grass to have healing again, bounce right back onto my ally, heal them again, bounce right back off. You get the combination. We're having fun, and we're healing our friends. Floral Healing is a bigger healing than your first move, and actually if you heal past their health bar, you end up giving them a shield. So that's something that you can do at any time. Pop onto your ally, heal them up. If it goes past their health bar, they will get a shield. Also, we're seeing it right now, Comfey scores when your ally scores. So if you're attached to them, you will score as much as they are scoring. I don't believe you can score more, but you can score as many points as they are scoring at the same time if you have them. Also, if you're attached to an ally and they have more AOS energy than they can carry by KOing a wild Pokemon or something like that, you actually take that AOS energy. As you can see, they're full health here. I heal them, and there is that shield. I have given them a shield. I can now actually release, hop back into the tall grass because you get a ton of flowers by hopping into the tall grass, jump back onto an ally, heal them again, giving them a big shield, and score with them as well if I had AOS energy to do so. That is what you're able to do with Comfey. Comfey actually also sets up a few really interesting things. You'll notice that I have Leftovers on Comfey right now. If I do nothing on this Pokemon, I actually can take advantage of Leftovers. Do I know that this is going to be the play for this? I really don't. But it's really interesting to notice that there's actually a situation where Leftovers, Assault Vest, things like that can proc more easily because when you are on an ally Pokemon, as long as you are not attacking with one of your attack moves, you are technically out of combat, meaning that you can take advantage of Leftovers. Weird that we might actually have a Pokemon that can use this in a really exciting way. Let's take a look at Magical Leaf right here. This is going to target enemies around me, shooting these leaves out sort of completely at random right now, and if it hits an enemy a certain amount of times, it will stun them if it is on them right there. So Magical Leaf has a little cooldown right there. You throw it on whatever's around you, and you can end up doing damage to the enemies there. You also can continue to bounce on and off of your ally Pokemon so that you can use Magical Leaf around you with a smaller radius, or bounce to an ally with a larger radius, dealing damage and continuing to heal them. At any time, if you need to get out of this situation, you can release in any direction you would like and walk away and say, sorry Venusaur, I couldn't help you there, buddy. You're going down. It is worth noting, by the way, that you cannot attach yourself to Regieleki. You know, some Pokemon can heal. For instance, you can power swap Regieleki, you can heal it with Clefable, things like that. You cannot attach yourself to Regieleki as Comfey. As you can see, I can just attach myself to this Gengar right here, try to heal it up as it continues to fight and lose apparently to this Crustle, and all the while I can hit it with my magical leaves as soon as my magical leaves are up. Also, experience share is an obvious item for this Pokemon. You are attached to an ally, and anything they KO, you can give them tons of experience, and you don't need a lot of it yourself as you are the support Pokemon for your team. You can see right there also, my magical leaf is continuing to attack while I am scoring. I'm in that scoring animation with LD, and we continue to attack right here. It feels like you can be very passive with this Pokemon and go AFK, but a lot of what you're going to do is attach to an ally, heal them up, use magical leaf, and then end up bouncing off that ally so you can make your way back to tall grass, get more of your flowers, bounce to another ally, heal them up in time, possibly even use a unite move so that you're fighting in the aura of it and try to KO the enemies that way. Inside of this aura, you actually get empowered flowers that do more healing right here, and your allies also heal if they're inside of your Unite moves aura as well. It's going to be really interesting to see how the vision and everything is really going to play with this move here. That was a very bad Blastoise Unite, but hey, what can you do? This is a public test server, and they throw you into bot games. Running over to Blastoise, getting there in time, trying to heal it, not able to make it happen. Once again, they're just getting beat up by this Crustle and Gengar bot on the enemy team. Your magical leaf doesn't seem to prioritize enemy Pokemon more than it prioritizes wild Pokemon, which is kind of interesting. There might be some sort of priority there, but it seems to just shoot at everything in range. Also, something to notice is magical leaf will hit enemies even if they're in a bush. It will be able to find them, which is actually really cool. You could chase down enemies in a pretty big way with magical leaf, and you really don't have to do too much to make it happen. Comfey is a support through and through. You will notice I can't do anything with my floral healing when I don't have any allies around. I can't heal anybody, I can't bounce to any targets, I can't protect myself. There's nothing I can do without an ally around with floral healing. I can still use my basic attacks, I could still use magical leaf, which by the way, it looks like you can't basic while you're using magical leaf. As we can see here, magical leaf is going. I can't use any basic attacks right now, which is why it's so good when you are attached to an ally. Something to also notice is I couldn't score while I was in my magical leaf as well. So if you use magical leaf and then need to try to immediately score with a Rayquaza shield, it is not going to work. Right now I have Sweet Kiss, which does give your ally a shield when you connect to them, and then gives you this big aura that pulls enemies closer to you. I can't tell how powerful this is going to be. It's a move that makes enemies walk towards you and your ally. When used correctly in a coordinated fashion, this might be the craziest thing ever, and it also just might be too much hassle, honestly, to make work. The area of it is really nice, and again, you still bounce onto an ally and give them a shield, so there's a possibility for something there. I'm just not sure how valuable this is actually going to end up being, especially in your solo queue games. I think the answer is going to be not really very valuable, to be fair. Bounce on, give them a shield, pull the enemies near you. Is it worth it? I really don't know. I don't know. We're gonna find out. We'll find out very soon. If you don't go with Magical Leaf, your option for a move is Grass Knot. It has a pretty good range, it does decent damage, and it's actually able to switch two enemies' position together. It's a little hard to see this happen because these enemies don't set up a lot of scenarios for me to be able to do that. This actually could be the better move here. Let's see if I can get it to work. Nope. It's going to be hard to see if this is actually better than your other option here, but it is more single target damage, and you actually get to decide what you hit. The repositioning of the enemies, I think, could be really, really massive. Heading in here, we're going to score. As you saw, there were 9 points on this Garchomp, so I was able to score 9 points. Even though I had 21, I ended up scoring less than I would have otherwise. So just something to notice right there. I think setting this up with a Dodrio could be amazing, but I honestly don't exactly know how that's going to work. There you go. You saw me use the Grass Knot. I hit them both, and I actually pulled the Snorlax close to me. So you could probably set up some cool situations with that. Let's say you're attached to an ally that wants to dive into the back line. You hit multiple enemies, you pull them all together, and then you use your Sweet Kiss ability to fear them and basically bring them close. It could use some amazing coordination to get it to actually work, but if it does, it could be like a little mini Sableye hanging out with your carry Pokemon. Like right now I'm hanging out with this Garchomp, and I just have ways that my Garchomp could actually get to these enemies right here. I'm able to use my Sweet Kiss in a way that would actually protect them. So it could be pretty good, and again, it could set up some scenarios where enemies are pulled close to a Pokemon that really wants enemies pulled close to them, like Garchomp. The plus version of this move actually increases allies' movement speed. You can see my Garchomp getting a little bit faster there when I'm charging Sweet Kiss. So it just gives you another option to sort of close the distance and bring enemies near you. Again, I don't know how well this is going to work, not coordinated, but coordinated, it could work really, really well. As you saw there, Garchomp scored 40, and I didn't get to score anything because the amount Garchomp scored broke the goal. Sometimes Comfey is not going to be able to score in these situations when it's attached to an ally, but scoring on their main goal, you'd be able to put in any points you want to. Trying to bring him in for you, Garchomp. You got to get close to him, buddy. Hitting him with the grass knot. They're stunned. Let's go. Let's get him. It's going to increase our speed. I'm going to put down my Unite move to increase the healing while my Garchomp fights inside of there. Nice. Worked out pretty well. Pop back on, give him a little shield. Pop back off, say goodbye. Goodbye. Playing with Sweet Kiss, it absolutely feels like this is set up for coordinated play. It will be a lot harder in solo play to take advantage of this move, that is for sure. But it doesn't mean you wouldn't be able to, it just means it's going to be a little tough. The upgrade to Grass Knot gives you a much larger area that you can use to hit enemies, but you know, the interesting thing about Comfey is it's actually going to be hard, I think, to get all of your levels sometimes, so I don't know how often you are going to be at level 12 early enough to take huge advantage of the increase to Grass Knot or Magical Leaf, but it's nice that you get a little bonus. Setting up your Unite move around a big fight like this might be huge. It appears as if Rayquaza is invisible to the enemy team, meaning that its health bar could be invisible unless they are next to it. I've not been able to test this, obviously, as we're on the public test server, so I can't say for sure if that is actually the case. You should be able to set up situations where you and an ally can score at the same time using your Rayquaza shields, but a lot of the time, for whatever reason, your allies don't seem to do that, so it's kind of hard to test to see if this will work here. But we are scoring together right now, 100 points, and unfortunately, when you are attached to an ally, it doesn't look like you're able to overdunk a goal like that. It would not let me score my 32 as Venusaur was scoring there. However, if we were to be scoring in the main goal, we would be able to score in that moment. I'm going to have to test this more to figure out exactly how that scoring is going to work. Overall, I think Comfey is going to be very reliant on your allies to make work extremely well. This is a supporter Pokemon through and through. It really doesn't feel like it's set up to do other things except support your team in some amazing ways. But if you're able to make it work, I think you could devastate with it. If you're playing solos, duos, trios, I think you'll be able to find the most value by just picking your best ally, noticing who is trying to carry or brawl a lot on your team, and get with them. That's probably going to be your best bet throughout this whole thing with Comfey. I hope a lot of this helped get you ready for this Pokemon and get you ready to play this when it comes out a little later today. I will be streaming it live. I love you all very much, and I'll see you soon.